for welcoming us today. I am Mary Jo Prince with the Brazos Valley Injury Prevention Coalition, and we are part of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Program. We're brought to you today by TxDOT. The TxDOT is the Texas Department of Transportation. They make it possible for us to be here without charging you $5 on the way out the door. It's a great deal, huh? We're here today to talk a little, and this is Cindy Kovar, my partner in crime and co-teacher. We both are with the same organization, and we are here, that's a lot of words for we are here to save lives. Today we are here to save your lives and the lives of the people that you love and that you care about most. So we want to make sure try to remember one thing as you leave today, because everything you're going to hear is about saving lives. Whether it's today, tomorrow, as you're all seniors and you're going to advance to the next phase of your lives, whether it be college, full-time employment, raising families, doing what you want to do and following your passion. But it's all about saving your life so you can live your dreams and live up to your potential. The only way you can do that is by making the right choices. Right choices when you get behind the wheel, the right choices when you make decisions about who to hang out with and what you do with the rest of your life. So try to remember that. I'm going to turn it over to Cindy. She's going to get the program started. We're going to go over some things today that involve alcohol, drinking, driving, better yet, alcohol and not drinking and driving, some laws and some things that are going to save your lives, and then we're going to have some fun and games. We're going to have some competition between your peers, your seniors, and it looks like maybe even some of your teachers and administrators are going to get into the competition as well. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Cindy Kovar, and she will go into the first phase of the presentation.
All right, you guys, so this is Red Ribbon Week. You have to say it really slow or it ends up not sounding like that. So we're going to talk to you about being impaired. So being impaired could be that you've been drinking alcohol or you've been doing drugs, okay? Unfortunately, I'm a Texas girl. I love being from Texas. I've lived here all my life. I got my boots on most days. Texas leads the nation in drunk driving deaths. Okay, that is not something to brag about. The leading cause of death for your age group is drinking and driving and doing drugs and driving. We have more deaths because of alcohol and drugs and people driving than homicides and other crimes. You guys drinking and getting behind the wheel, doing drugs, illegal, prescription, somebody else's prescription, getting behind the wheel, it's killing our young folks. You guys as seniors are the most exciting part of your life. You're fixing to go on, like Mary Jo said, you're going to do college, you're going to do jobs, you're going to do families. All these exciting things are just months away from happening, and so you don't want to mess it up by making poor choices. So one of the things we're going to talk about is, one, what is your legal limit for drinking right now? Because you're all under 21. Zero. Exactly, zero. So you should not be drinking, but you also need to be aware that when you turn 21, that drinking one drink doesn't necessarily mean one serving. If you're drinking a mixed drink from a restaurant or something, that could be multiple servings. If you go to a party and they're passing around Everclear serving is 1 teaspoon. So I can bet that you've never been to a party where they're passing around Everclear and they're passing around a teaspoon so everybody can portion off one portion. Okay? If you've ever taken a swig of water and you take a pretty good swig of it, you're probably taking in 12 or 13 teaspoons of water. Okay? So you can imagine if you're swigging Everclear, you could very well be taking in 10 or 12 servings of alcohol, which it takes your body 10 or 12 hours to metabolize. So if you drank at you finish that drink at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when school's just about over, you're still coming down off of your alcohol impairment. So when you think about it that way, we've got people on the roads, we've got, people operate machinery, we've got people, our doctors, we've got people that are pilots that are drinking alcohol and then trying to do these tasks, and then they're on the streets, on the roads with us, or they're those people trying to take care of us. So oftentimes people don't realize how long that alcohol takes in your system. So I just want you to be cautious about, we don't want you making the choice to drink, but we want you to be aware of how much alcohol is in a serving and how that can affect you and how long it takes to wear off. If you're drinking and driving, which you should not be because you're under 21, you've got to have a sober driver. You cannot have someone driving that's been drinking also. So you've got to plan ahead and make sure that you have a safe ride home. So a designated driver is a hero in my eyes, okay? They've not drank anything. They're going to be the one that's going to get you safely home. What if you get to a party and you're not planning on drinking, but you made a poor choice and now you've been drinking and now you have to get home? You call your mom, you call your dad, you call your friend that's not been drinking, you call someone to get you home safe. Most mom and dads rather get the call at 4 o'clock in the morning that you need a ride home than 4 o'clock in the morning that you're at the hospital and you may not make it. Okay? So plan ahead. Make a pact with your parents. Say, hey, Mom, I'm going to make the right choices, but if for some reason I made a poor choice, would you back me up? Would you come get me in the middle of the night? Maybe it's a friend that would back you up, and you could call them at 2 o'clock in the morning if you made a choice that left you in a position where you were impaired. Make a plan ahead so that you have those plans ready to go just in case you need them. I hope that you won't, but it's better to plan ahead than to not have it. Y'all familiar with those signs in the parking lot where you can't park because it's a handicapped parking space? Y'all got those in your parking lot? All right. Every 40 seconds, a drunk driver makes another person eligible for those spots. A drunk driver. Somebody that made a poor choice, has put somebody else in jeopardy, has caused an injury, so that they are able to park in that spot. And I guarantee you, everybody that has one of those little parking passes would rather not have that parking pass and have the ability to get in and out of their car a lot easier than that space affords them to do. Okay? So if you're under 21, it's against the law to consume alcohol, to purchase alcohol, to misrepresent your age, to purchase alcohol. If you get caught, there's a Class C misdemeanor, there's community service, you can lose your driver's license, and you can be forced to take an alcohol awareness class. A lot of things can happen. That's the easiest part of it. But if you're drinking and you're behind the road and you hit someone or you kill someone or you injure or kill your friend or yourself, those are not things we can fix with a little $500 fine. And no one has on their calendar, if you have your calendar on your phone or if you have your calendar in the old style paper where you scratch things off like I like to do, nobody has in their calendar when they're going to have their crash. That's something we don't know. We don't know when we're going to have a car crash. So we have to be prepared, making good choices, not getting behind the wheel, because you don't know if it's going to be that day you're thinking, I've driven home before like this and made it home okay, but maybe not today. So we have to make good choices that doesn't happen to us. So I'm going to let Mary Jo visit with you a little bit.
Thank y'all again for your consideration and time and attention, because again, we don't even know you yet, but we care about you and we're here. We wouldn't be here today if we didn't care and want to save your lives. Many of you have heard about situations, even in our own community recently, about where young people have made the decision to drink or to do drugs in a party situation. Now, we don't stand up here today and pretend to make y'all think that we weren't born at these ages. Your teachers, your principals, your administrators, we've all been where you've been. Believe it's hard to imagine, but we have been high school seniors before. And we had to face some of the same choices that you have to face every day about a lot of things. And so we have learned by our mistakes. And we've learned and we pass these mistakes and our learning sessions on to you. And you're going to learn the hard way in some cases. Some will learn a little bit easier than others. But please remember that everybody will face tough decisions in their lives. There was a young man named Carson who went to college. He was from Austin. He went to college in California. And like many, many fraternities and sororities, there's what's known as hazing. It's illegal, but it happens still. They go to these parties and their upperclassmen will force them to drink to an excess. Force them to drink to the point of alcohol poisoning. Force them to drink to where they pass out and are not coherent and cannot respond and are near death on the floor of a fraternity house. Carson's Law came from that incident. Carson's Law is also known as the 911 Lifeline Law. They call it Lifeline for a reason. Anybody know why they call it Lifeline? Does anybody know what the 911 law is? Feel free. This is a democracy. We want y'all to share it. The 911 law applies to anyone, one person under the age of 21. If you are at a party and have made the choice to drink, and you find your friends or your buddies or your classmates or teammates, whoever it may be, and you see somebody has passed out, they're unconscious, and because of time, we're not going to go into all of the signs of that today, but if you Google it, look it up, Carson's Law or the 911 Lifeline Law. It pertains to one person. If you see that your friend or your buddy is not conscious, not responding, starting to sweat, and you can't wake them up, you can call 911 and you will have a responder come, an ambulance come, and a paramedic come to help save the life of that person. And you will not be charged, you won't get in trouble. Now you may have some discussions with your parents and your teachers and other people, but you have saved the life of one person. Everybody else at the party will not be protected under that law, but we can assure you that if somebody is about to lose their life, the focus is on that person and anything else will be taken up later. We know a lot of responders. We work a lot with the Bryan Police Department. And there's not a man or woman on that force that won't tell you, you know what, and paramedics too, our intentions are on saving the victim. And it's easy to get in that, especially if you're young and you're itty bitty or big and tall, big old, nobody's exempt. Whether you run, no matter how fast you run the 100-yard dash, whether you're a homecoming queen, whether you're valedictorian, student body president, or just a good old common run of the, like every student like I was, just in there with everybody, nobody's exempt. So don't think that you can't save a life or that your life may not be at risk. It happens to everybody. So please remember to call 911. If you see a classmate or a friend passed out and not responsive, and we hope to God they'll do the same for you. Because like texting and driving, there is no life worth risking over a bottle or a drink or excessive drink. There is no life worth losing just because you wanted to have a good time. Binge drinking. Binge drinking is very prevalent today. You think you're invincible. You think you can drink to your heart's content. You think you can make the choice to drink. Everybody under the table. I got news for you. Alcohol was not intended to drink until you pass out. It was not intended to cause the loss of a life. Binge drinking is when you drink and you lose that consciousness, you're not coherent, you're not breathing, you're turning blue, your body temperature is dropping. So please remember, it's not fun. It is not fun to see your life flash before your eyes. Males, binge drinking is 5 or more drinks in a row in a 2-hour period. Females is 4 or more drinks in a row without stopping. That's a lot of alcohol. That's a lot of alcohol, and it's not worth it. Okay, one or two hands. What is the quickest way to sober up if you made the choice to invite? Chocolate. I hear Chocolate Bell. What is it? Taco Bell. It used to be Pepe's in a Snickers bar. We thought. It wasn't Peppy Tacos in a Snickers bar. We also hear things like black coffee. The only thing with black coffee is you have a more alert drunk. Listen up. You have a more alert drunk. Get in the shower, hoping mom and dad don't, come in and talk to you before you've had a chance to take a shower. It's like they come in, they're talking to you, you go, oh Lord, just let me get to the shower. So she'll quit asking me questions because I'm not going to be sounding right. How do you think I know this? We've been there. Other things, vomiting, throwing up on the floor. People say, oh my God, I've earned this. No, you haven't. You made a choice to drink. Other ways, exercising. Just let me get to the gym and if I made a choice to drink at lunch, I can just get to the gym. The coach is going to think I'm in perfect condition because I can be on this treadmill, I can lift these weights, and the coach is never going to know the difference. Coaches, no. Because you're breathing hard, you can't stand up, you can't perform like you did the day before yesterday. You're not going to sober up by exercising. Eating or drinking water, eating, last but not least, the raw egg, and it don't work. The only thing that will sober you up, and hopefully you're going to feel bad enough that you may not want to do it again, is time. Time. It is what it is. Like I said, you're drinking coffee, you have a more alert drunk, and Lord knows that can be pretty hazardous to our health too. Because you think you can get back in, just because you're feeling more alert, you can get back in that car and drive. Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, make the right choices. In this very room, there are lawyers, doctors, teachers, mothers, fathers, CEOs, presidents of companies, but only if you make the right choices. And one of the hardest things that you will ever have to live with, God forbid, is if you take the life of a friend or a loved one because you made the choice to drink. Okay, we are going to get into the fun and games. We hope you take what you've heard today, couple it with what you're going to see today, and save your lives.
game. You got to stop eventually. Back up, back up, back up. You're over a dead person here. All right. This cone did not make it. All right. All right. Looks like your other team won because you hit someone. All right. So you guys, again, this is fun. But I want y'all to know that y'all had fun today and there was no alcohol and no drugs involved and we had a good time.